That's the job.
Okay, we're live, Mayor.
Goes down to people up on the north side, but they don't know if you crossed over already.
We good?
It's 105 degrees over there.
All right, let's go ahead and get this meeting started so that we can end it and go out and enjoy the weather. Do we all agree with that as the main course of action for tonight? Concept of operations. Perfect. So with that, it's June 10th, 2025 at 6 p.m. And we are going to have a city council meeting tonight with the city of Lake Stevens. We're down at the mill and we are also online. And this will be later published on our YouTube channel for viewing. And with that, I would ask all to rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, can we get a roll call?
Yes. Councilmember Donahue,
Present.
Councilmember Daughtry,
Present.
Councilmember Peter Sagan,
Present.
Councilmember Shipman,
Present.
Councilmember Ewing,
Present.
and Councilmember Jorstad. Moving her into the meeting here. She's in attendees. I'm just trying to move her over. There, here she comes. Councilmember Jorstad, can you hear us? Here she is. Okay. Councilmember Jorstad. I can see her in here. Councilmember Jorstad, can you unmute, please?
I sure
Oh.
can.
Say here.
All right, we have everybody here then.
Yep.
And with that, I'll ask the council president for an approval of the agenda.
Thank you. All right. Are there any changes or amendments to the agenda? Okay. Can I please get a motion to approve the agenda?
Move to approve.
Second. Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? You have an agenda.
Excellent. We're going to go into guest business then, and we'll start off with, I believe it's going to be, Russ, are you introing or? Chris, all right, let's do it. Let's intro. Great new employees.
So tonight we have a 2-for-1 introduction here this evening. I'm going to first introduce Josh and then Amber and welcome them to the Lake Stevens family. So Josh London, he joined our team back in March, around the 20th. Josh attended Western Washington and graduated with a degree in urban planning and sustainable development. Before finding a home at the City of Lake Stevens Planning Department, he worked in sales while also running his small business. He does sell handmade pottery, and I have to say it is fabulous. He sells them at farmers markets and vendor fairs. At home, he's a proud father of 2 wonderful cats, John Martin and Remy Jean. When not tending to the needs of the public at the planning counter or chasing his children around, you'll most likely find him on the golf course, which is pretty much, I think, every weekend. So he likes to golf to perfection, so that's why he focuses on his game every week. He feels blessed to be surrounded by such a great group of people and can't wait to see what the future holds. And he wrote the bio, by the way. I did not. So I would like to introduce Josh to City Council.
Hey, guys, welcome. Welcome, Josh. Thanks for being there, Josh. Yep, good seeing you.
Thank you, Josh. Yeah. All right, so the second employee is Amber Brokenshire. She's a proud military veteran with a sharp eye for detail and a soft spot for golden hour gardening. Amber earned a master's degree in urban and regional planning from the University of Colorado in Denver before she cut her teeth as a city planner in the charming city of Edmonds for 6 years. Then she decided to take on a new task by being a supervisor down at FEMA. She was there briefly before joining us here as a senior planner at City of Lake Stevens. Outside of work, Amber likes to embrace the vibrant life of the Pacific Northwest by gardening, backpacking, hiking, and living her best outdoorsy life with her dog, Ezra. Is that right? By her side. And the dog's absolutely cute. So she's happy to be here, and we're really enjoying both these people. So please welcome Amber to City of Lake Stevens.
Thanks for being here, Amber. Great intros. Next guest business. I was wondering why he was here, and then I remembered why he was here. Travis, come on up and let's do a Just Serve presentation.
Hello, everyone. I'm very excited to be here. Hopefully you can hear me okay. This is my first time ever doing anything like this outside of watching an episode of Parks and Recs. So
It's very similar.
here we go.
Very close.
I'm Travis Mydell. I'm here to represent justserve.org. Just Serve is an organization that is obviously built, just as the name implies, around service. And we are proud to present the city as an official Just Serve city for Lake Stevens. Now, what does that mean, you're probably asking? Well, Just Serve is an organization that runs online that allows anyone to be able to submit service opportunities. If you've ever been a kid and you went anywhere with your parents who were like, hey, let's do a little service while we're here. Let's do a little something. You knew you kind of dragged your feet. But the moment that it was over, you always felt a little bit better. And you always felt a little bit more excited by what you were able to do. And that's the idea behind Just Serve. It's to give everybody an opportunity to do exactly what the name says and just serve. Whether it's something small like cleaning up a park or something large like helping at a food shelter, Just Serve is designed to be able to give everybody in the community the opportunity to connect and to be able to serve. So we are very pleased with the city of Lake Stevens. It is one of the only cities in the northwest of this area of Washington that has become an official Just Serve city. So that required involvement from the mayor and from a few other people who have kind of reached out. But if there's anything we can ever do to help you, we are happy to do so. But I will leave you with this. I don't know who gets this. You.
Let's take a picture.
Oh, bitch.
Yeah. Make the fish taste. I knew you were I wanted to. Excellent. Cool.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Good seeing you. Hey, Travis, appreciate the presentation on that. And Just Serve's a great organization. As far as the cities, we've built out our own website for Just Serve and created, that's where we're creating the city opportunities for service. And then we're also working with our other civic organizations, other organizations within the city to build out their service opportunities as well under Just Serve. So it becomes a one-stop shop, one ring to rule them all sort of a situation when it comes to service in the city. So appreciate your work. Let's go to citizens' comments and let's start online.
If there's anyone online that would like to address the council, please raise your digital hand and I'll bring you in. Okay. I have Darren Piper.
All right,
Darren,
let's
I'm
listen to
bringing you in.
Darren.
Okay, Darren, can you hear us? You can go ahead and unmute.
All right. Can you hear me now?
We sure can.
Okay. I got a question on what is it? It'd be the fees or what you're presenting, the deposits of the fees and interest on the money when a developer, what is it? Resolution for who would I talk to about the fees and the interest that is charged and how is it being charged? What I'm seeing is if somebody brings a project to you and puts in for the permit, and then the city needs a consultant to argue against you, you have to pay interest on top of the money that you've already given the city. Who would I talk to on this at the city?
Hey, Darren, if you, in this forum, we don't answer questions, but if you want to drop your contact info, which I think we probably already have, we will have a staff member get back to you with, the answer to your question.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
Thank you, Darren. Anybody else online?
I don't see any other digital hands raised.
All right, great. So let's move to in person, and we have Andrea Wright.
Hi, I'm Andrea Wright. My address is 10815 29th Street Northeast. Before I begin, I want to thank you, the City Council, for all the work you're doing in the city. I know you put in so much time and you all have other jobs, and I appreciate what you're doing. As I mentioned, my name is Andrea Wright, and I'm the president of the Board of Commissioners for the Lake Stevens Sewer District. I'm here this evening to address the recent litigation between the city and sewer district. As many of you may be aware, earlier today in Snohomish County Superior Court, Judge Apple ruled in favor of the sewer district, finding that the city of Lake Stevens breached the existing legal contract between our two entities by attempting to unilaterally assume the district. This legal dispute has now spanned 5 years and cost both the city and the sewer district over $1 million in combined legal fees. Judge Apple's ruling brings closure to a long, costly, and unproductive chapter for both sides. During this time, valuable staff resources that could have been dedicated to critical infrastructure and community service projects were instead diverted to litigation. Tonight, I respectfully urge the City Council to join us in turning the page. Let us move forward together, collaboratively and constructively, focusing on important work ahead. The existing legal agreement remains in place and provides a clear framework to guide our shared responsibilities like it has for the past 20 years. The sewer district is committed to fostering a stronger, more cooperative relationship with the city. Our focus should now be on planning for a seamless transition of services over the next 8 years, addressing the needs of our growing community and delivering results for our shared constituents. The residents of Lake Stevens deserve our full attention and unified efforts. Let's set aside past differences and prioritize the future together. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrea. And I have no other green sheets. We're going to move forward with council business, council president.
Thank you. All right, go ahead and start down at the end there with Councilmember Ewing.
Oh man, 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
With last week's tribute to Marcus, I just want to recognize the Legion 181 with their Memorial Day. An outstanding presentation tonight to see the mayor and other folks there honoring those in our community who served and those who have paid the ultimate price for our freedom. Also want to thank the city. They support, especially our law enforcement officers, a suicide awareness walk on May 31st. Many of our law enforcement officers, including those who have been directly impacted by suicide, were there supporting our community. There were more than 200 people there supporting that. Today we had the boards and commissions interviews. The best total group of people, Kim, you probably agree with me, that we've ever had and all the years we've been doing it is really extraordinary citizens. And I'm like, I can't believe we have such amazing people that are volunteering for these positions in the community. And speaking to Just Serve, there's a family in our community I was talking to on Saturday, and a woman's, her and her family came to Lake Stevens by way of Gambia. She's a medical professional. And she said, Steve, she said, where can I find opportunity to serve in the community? She said, I already volunteer in the medical space. She said, I want to give back in the community. And I thought that's the kind of people that we have here in Lake Stevens that are wanting to give back and make our city the awesome city it is. So just grateful to be part of the boards and commissions and for the opportunity these citizens have to contribute to our city success.
Thank you. Councilmember Shipman.
First, I'd like to start out by thanking Sarah and the Parks Department. I brought to their attention the parking situation at Cove Park Boat Launch. I was there last week on a sunny day, and one row closest to the lake had vehicles with trailers, but all the rest were filled with cars and no trailers. And as I expressed, there wasn't much signage in place. And so I think people sincerely didn't know they weren't supposed to park there. So Sarah and her team went out and painted every single parking stall, saying it's trailer parking only. And I drove out Sunday, which was, of course, our hottest day, I think, this year. And every single parking stall had a vehicle with a trailer. So I do think it was just confusion, and it was good to see people that don't live on the lake to have access to go float around out there. And then I went to the senior center board meeting yesterday, and they're going strong. May was a big month. They raised over $2,000 in their bingo. So I said, plug that one more time. That's their big fundraiser. It's every Thursday. $8 buys you 6 games. And then you can get 5 more games for only $13 total. So they like to encourage people to come play bingo with them. And then lastly, tomorrow is the school board meeting. We're kind of, wrapping up our school year. It's at 6:30 at the Educational Service Center, which is on 22nd and 123rd. So just down the street. Typically at this meeting, they do their Apple Awards. So they showcase both students and staff within the district before the meeting begins. So it's always open to the public. So I just wanted to send that out. That's it.
All right. Thank you. Councilmember Peter Sagan.
Along those lines, it was great to see the graduation group, I guess, long procession. I don't know how many cars were involved that went around the lake, but it's like, man. Anyway, bunch of happy kids. But it was great to see the community coming out and acknowledging those kids. Also, last Wednesday, I attended this Historical Society Board of Directors meeting. They are looking forward to their general meeting, which is on June 23rd at the administration office up at the high school or across from North Lake there. And they are anxiously awaiting some copies of some plans from our community director, Wright, so that they can start their fundraising process. We're getting really close, I think, to hopefully some groundbreaking here in the next 45 days or so. That's me talking. I don't know if that's Director Wright talking, but I think we're getting close. So they're getting excited and wanting to move forward. So with that, Commissioner Wright, I acknowledge your comments and thank you. Appreciate that. So look forward to our next meeting. That's all.
All right. Thank you. Councilmember Daughtry.
I attended a Community Transit Board of Directors meeting last week on Thursday. Nothing really to report from that. I want to echo what Councilmember Ewing said about the people that are coming to interview for boards and commissions. Outstanding group of people coming in today. Took us quite a while, a lot longer than normal. Really hard to pick who we would send forward to the mayor. And hope that the ones that didn't get picked will continue to look for other opportunities to help us in the city, because that's the people that really make things happen. So it was astonishing, the group of people that we interviewed today. I think that's all I have to say.
All right. Thank you. Going online, Councilmember Jorstad.
Thank you. I just wanted to report back to council. We had our Alliance for Housing Affordability meeting last Wednesday, and the cities voted unanimously to move forward with Chris Collier moving to a government liaison position and inviting all of HASCO to help support the ongoing work of AHA. The new executive director, Lori Olson, was available and spoke a bit and is eager to dive into this work and also come out and meet with cities and talk more about how the Housing Authority of Snohomish County can be a partner for cities. So I look forward to talking to council and helping to invite her out and have that conversation. And I think that's also just excited that we had our first farmers market last Wednesday. I heard mostly positive reviews, so excited that that's back to farmers market season, and just want to encourage everybody to attend. I think that's it. Thanks.
All right, thank you. And I was going to use this time to quickly check in with council members regarding retreat dates for our fall retreat, but Caitlin, as always, is on top of it and has sent out an email, and I believe is looking to set aside some discussion time for us. So I would just, anyone who hasn't seen that yet, catch up on the email chain, and we'll discuss that later. And then just in general, I wanted to check with the council and see if anyone had any topics they wanted to see on upcoming agendas in the next few meetings. All right.
I do. I know the mayor and I are going to AWC and Tri-Cities, and last year was really outstanding. And so I think it'd be good for us to be able to bring back an NLC is where we were apprised about Just Serve. And I know the mayor and I were really impressed with that. And so that's one of the ideas we brought back from that. So I think even though it's a lot of sacrifice for us to go and do that, I think if we can take some of those things back and see what we can incorporate best practices from other cities. I just think that would be great. So if you could check in with the mayor or me, and see what, or whoever else may be going, I think that would be a good thing for us to discuss if it's possible for the retreat or before the council break, but if not, when we come back.
Okay. Anything else? All right. Back to you, Mr. Mayor.
All right, great. I'll just touch real quick. I had a great opportunity this last week on Friday to go with some fellow Rotary members over to Camp Casey. Camp Casey's on Fort Casey over on Whidbey Island. If you haven't been over there, I highly suggest it. The YMCA bought that about 5 months ago from Seattle Pacific University and is turning it into a true outdoor camp experience. It was impressive to go over there. Within 5 months, they have signaged everything YMCA. They dug into a frog pond and found the old pool, and the pool looks great. I would totally was going to do a cannonball, but wasn't appropriately attired. It's going to be a great project for that group, and the reason why I'm bringing it up for the city is that it's a great opportunity to get our kids into some old school camp experiences and develop who they are in life. And they expect to get about 700-800 kids through week-long camps this summer, and then expand the program as they move forward. So it's a really cool opportunity. Good job, YMCA. So with that, let's move forward to city department reports. And are we going to Caitlin, Jean? What are we doing here?
I mean, I think maybe we'll tag team the topic. Good evening, council. I wanted to bring some information to you about filling our current council vacancy, which will be very large shoes to fill. There's some urgency in starting this process because we have 90 days to make the appointment. And that will bring us right to the end of our summer break. So we'd like to get the ball rolling. What I'd like to propose, in your council packet, you'll see the council procedures, and I marked the page on page 15, 21.3. It talks about the appointment process, and it kind of lines out each step that will be taken. So from the clerk's office perspective, we'd love to get that process going. I'd like to post the open notice as of Friday and give it 10 days. And then we can come back depending on how many applications we get to council. And we've got a couple council meetings left to do that, either narrowing down process or that interview process prior to you going out on break. So I just wanted to bring the information to council and answer any questions you have and just get feedback.
Seems like we have a process, so let's move forward.
I do have a question. This is jumping several steps ahead in your beautiful process, but Greg, this might be more for you. Given the unique timing of this, we are at a stage where, this seat was going to be up for election and there are candidates who have declared. I'm just wondering logistically, is this the type of thing where we need to do an open process and anyone who has not filed for that seat could throw their hat in the ring, serve for a couple months, and then, be essentially voted out come December? Are we allowed to just consider the people who have filed for the seat? How can we manage that to kind of streamline the process?
Well,
Can you explain?
There we go. Of course, in making your selection, if you decide that you want to pick somebody that isn't running, you certainly have that prerogative of making that a priority in your selection process. And if you thought as a group that that's what you wanted to do, if 2/3 of you vote to do that, you could make that announcement in your announcement for applicants that you're looking for someone who's not running for office. I mean, the whole idea of having it open is, of course, you give everyone in the community and fair opportunity to apply for the position. But if you think that but it's also your prerogative that you think because of the circumstances you're talking about that you really want to limit it to some to persons who are willing to take it on a short term and are not running for election, you have that prerogative.
I'm almost wondering about going the other way, where are we allowed to focus on the people who have already filed and we're planning to run, be part of the election, or do we have to open it to everybody? I mean, which is fine. I'm just thinking logistically.
I mean, well, it's up to you guys in terms of how open do you want the process to be and what type of message you want to send out to the public.
Yeah. Okay.
In making that decision.
Okay. Thank you.
But
So-
you can keep it now open to everyone and you can decide later whether you're looking for somebody in the end who's not running or somebody who's running, if you think that that's an important.
I mean, generally I'm in favor of it being open, but like I said, having somebody get appointed, serve for a couple months and then, be kicked out of office essentially, regardless of how the election turns out, because they're not a candidate at this point, seems to me, but.
So,
Well,
Ryan,
so-
I understand what Ryan's saying. I mean, filing week's over. We've got 2 people that are going to be on the ballot, regardless of who we put in this position. Those are the 2 people on the ballot. Those are the 2 people that will assume it in January. Having said that, Ryan, my opinion is kind of opposite. I think it should be open to everyone, even if we end up choosing someone who's not on the ballot. Maybe they'll like it and in a couple of years decide to run. And I think that that would be the fair thing to do as well. And I do recognize it's probably going to be more time consuming, but I just don't want to limit it to people that have already filed, because people who may be interested, of course, none of us saw this coming.
So I have a different opinion than both of you.
Well, I want to be clear. I don't have an opinion. I'm just thinking if we have a deadline we have to hit, do we have the option to say we're going to focus on these candidates? I want to make sure we're aware of all our options. So.
That's great. I think we don't want the right thing, right? I think we also have members in the community, either former council members or members of boards commission that have significant community involvement experience that could put in for it and serve for a limited time, and a very fill in ably, I said, but they have to apply. I mean, honestly, Ryan, when you put in for it, I mean, you were the only candidate that had properly prepared over a significant amount of time for that position. And so when it came time for the interviews, it was very clear who had prepared and who hasn't. With this process here, we'll likely see a similar separation. There's people who have been following the process and have been significantly involved in the community over an extended period of time. And that will likely come out in the interview process, who is prepared versus someone who's, just, wants to try it out and see what it'd be like.
Angie.
Thank you. I just want to bring up the possibility too, if someone is appointed or voted into that position, they also have the opportunity, potential write-in campaign. And so it isn't as though that person doesn't at all have the opportunity to move forward in that seat. So just want to throw that out there too.
Hey, Angie, right in the beginning, you lost some connection and we didn't get the full value of your words.
I just wanted to put out there that anybody who is voted into this position who isn't currently running does have the opportunity to then launch a write-in campaign, and so would be potentially able to maintain that seat through that process.
Okay, good points.
Yeah, thank you.
Any other discussion on this?
Well, I was just
Great.
going to say that leaving it open to everyone gives you the most flexibility in the end.
Mhm.
After looking at all the candidates, why they're running and what you think would be in the best interest of the city at that time. It certainly gives you more flexibility and more people to look at. But
And that was a good point. I mean, I hadn't considered the write-in option as well. That was a good point. So anyway, like I said, just making sure we know all our options.
Okay.
So just to make sure I'm clear, are we comfortable with me posting on Friday and having that 10-day window and getting that process started?
Yeah.
And open as it is? Okay, thank you so much.
All right. We are all north-south on that. Let's
So
keep.
I got a question. How long are we going to put it out? How long is it going to be out there before we close it?
We were going to do 10 days.
10 days.
Yep.
Is that required by statute?
It's not required by statute that I could find. Yeah. The RCW that governs it. So, and in the past, I went back and looked at past practice and it's between 10 days and 2 weeks. So.
But we're gonna try to get it done before the recess.
That was my next point. I said I would,
Yeah.
whatever process we do, I would prefer to have it done before the break so that person can kind of have a little time to get up to speed during the break.
Yeah.
And those 10 days will end right before a council meeting. So Kelly and I could even turn around, bring those things in for the 24th that we close on the 23rd and start working our way through. So we'll make sure we're communicating and that we know that urgency is there.
Great. Thank you for your work on that, Caitlin. Let's move forward. Can I get a motion to pass the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
I've got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. And we're going to move forward to action item 11A. And I think this is actually, we tabled this one last meeting. So I think I need a motion to take it off the table.
no, I think your motion tabled it to the next.
The motion tabled it, but I think to take it off the table, I need a motion.
We didn't provide it. There was no specific
Okay,
timeline.
all right,
Yeah.
there's no
provided.
specific date.
Yeah, yeah. So can I get a motion to take the fee resolution off the table?
So moved.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Okay.
Opposed? Let's talk about fees.
We took it off the table. We have no resolution.
I know, and we can't even leave it on the table.
Good evening, Council. Sarah Garso, Parks and Recreation Director. I'm bringing to you today fee resolution 2025-04, which was, as noted, brought from the last meeting where it was tabled. Since then and now revisions have been made in the current copy. The one in the full council packet is not the current copy. We did today send out a new revised copy. I wanted to note that for anybody that has the copy in the original packet. These were emailed directly to council and then passed out tonight. The reason being is we found a couple additional formatting issues as we continue to bring it forward weekly, and I apologize for not catching it earlier. Specifically, the resolution had still said 03 at the end instead of 04, and we needed to update the date at the end, as well as a couple other minor formatting corrections that we had found through prior editing errors in previous versions. This packet that you're looking at today, although it is a fee resolution with a new resolution number, doesn't have any new fees. It simply restores fees that have been previously approved. You'll notice that the public work fees that were discussed last time that would have been an increase are not included in the resolution, and they will be brought back at a further time by the Public Works Director. This was reviewed by the Public Works Department, Community Development and Planning Department, as well as the Parks and Recreation Department, and we are all happy to answer questions.
Could you, we had the online person ask a question about interest. Do you have any idea what we're talking about in that regards? Anybody from staff?
I'm
answer that?
happy to address that. Russ Wright, Community Development Director. So we don't have fee-bearing accounts for development proposals. We do have an ability to collect fees for consultants, and there's a small administrative charge. But it's not in any type.
But we don't grant interest for that money at all, right?
No.
Yeah, so, okay, just to clarify.
Yeah, people may have to pay for city's costs if we use a consultant for peer review, but that's a payment of those costs. It's not related to any interest.
Right, right. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for clarifying.
So one thing, I guess I just want to make sure I understood you correctly. I think it's the right of way fees. Were those the ones where there was some confusion last time with the strike through and was that, I don't know,
Correct. There was confusion about restoring fees as previously approved versus there were new fees for public works. And so you'll see now that it is no longer proposed for new fees. So there is no wording for container fees, for instance.
Okay, so these fees in the right of way section, even though that's all blue and there's red text, those are existing fees that are currently
Correct.
on the books. Okay, thank you.
Maybe I can put it in a little
Please.
different context. So in November and December of last year, the council approved two fees resolutions back to back. Earlier this year, the council approved a fees resolution, and then now you have a subsequent fees resolution. So there were a few different drafts running around, and some of the fees were undone in the more current version incidentally. And so what you have in front of us, we've all taken the time to go back through the last four iterations to make sure that cumulatively all the fees that council has acted on are in here. And then the fees that council said you didn't want to act on at the last meeting are not included.
Okay, thank you.
I just had a quick question on your boat launch annual parking pass. At Cove Park, is a discovered pass still valid, or do they have to be city passes since we've kind of changed where now you can do an hourly or annual pass? Is a discovered pass still valid there?
That's a great question. No, a Discover Pass is not valid there, but what is valid at North Cove is the Wildlife Access Pass, which is given when you purchase a fishing license. That is to honor the property itself is Fish and Wildlife. So that is in our agreement that we're still honoring, of course.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions for staff? If not, can I get a motion?
Move to approve the fee resolution 2025-04.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Motion by Kim and second by Kim. Is there any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, great. Okay, we're going to move to item 12, which is an executive session, confidential session of the council, potential litigation, no action to follow. And we're going to do, is it 15 minutes, Greg?
Yeah.
We're going to go 15 minutes on this, so we shall return, let's call it 7:50. And there will be no action to follow.
750 or 650?
I'm sorry, 55, 7:55.
655.
6:55.
We're gonna be for,
Just to clarify, 6:55.
we're gonna see how well you can talk, Greg. Filibuster.
Oh, yeah, okay, but just don't interrupt me and asking questions that I can't talk about.
Sure.
Okay, it's 6:55 and council has returned from their executive session.
All right, with that, we are back in session and I would ask for a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
Meeting is adjourned.